Cause you allow
Heard that you been doing you on the low. When I ask questions, you say, boy, yo, hell no. Remember we was young, now we grown. Nights on my back, I swear I missed on walls home. All the time we fell asleep on the phone. I ain't got no hate for you, it's all love. I'm really ashamed of you, it's no trust. I can't put the blame on you, I fucked up. Childhood love, you will always baby, baby, baby.
Hey, welcome to Soul Food Sunday. Welcome to Soul Food Sunday. Welcome to Soul Food Sunday. I'm your host, Day One, and this is the show where we're pulling love, wisdom, inspiration, motivation into your hearts. Thank you for joining me today. I have a special guest here today who served 25 years in upstate New York. My cousin Bubby, man, you feel me? I was waiting for a long time to do this interview, and I'm so blessed to have this moment here today. Bubby, tell them about yourself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm blessed to be here. Named Bubby Rush. As my cousin Day One just stated, served 25 years in upstate New York. I was incarcerated for home invasions, kidnaps, robberies, and etc. Went to trial, represented myself, lost, and during my incarceration, I learned a lot about myself and life. And one of the prideful things that I learned about myself is my strength. You know, like when you going through those struggles, those trials and those tribulations, and it seemed like the world is failing and life is, you know what I'm saying, everything in life is against you. Only thing you have to hold on is faith, hope, and strength. And my strength, man, that shit is amazing, cuz, you feel me? Like the shit I endured, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
Wow.
You understand me? I like, you know, it's harsh to say, but I wish a nigga death before I wish a nigga prison.
Right. Do you feel like your personal experience and being away for so long, do you feel like that allowed you to find your strength? Were you always aware of how strong you were?
I was always aware of my strength, but I wasn't aware of the extent of my strength. How far that strength can get me. You know, like, bro, I really stood against the odds, man. You know what I'm saying? On all walks, on all levels of life, and I'm happy to be here, man. You know, and I just take life humble now, cuz. You know, like one of my most humbling experience was watching people die in prison and watching these people do nothing.
Wow. Is it something that you still? Is it something that still haunts you to this day? Is it something that still sits on your mind? Do you still dwell on it?
Yes, constantly. It's traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, you know, you seeing somebody sitting there lifeless and you think about your own immortality, you know, that can be me. Y'all could be handling me the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, fight for me, you know? So what I used to do is, you know, is rile other inmates up when I see things like that taking place, because I want the same assistance done on myself if I was ever happen to have a life of mercy while being in prison. And, you know, fortunately, Allah got me through it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here today, and I'm you know.
Do you believe though that due to your personal experiences, how do you feel like your personal experiences with the prison system, how you think that can impact people of today that you know? People of today, how do you think it could motivate the youth? How do you think it can motivate your family members, your peers, people that's around you that hasn't gone through those hardships?
Life is what you make it, and I learned that while being in prison. Life is really what you make it, because I could have made a whole bunch of choices that could not have led me to prison, but yet I chose to make choices that led me to prison. And I was always aware of my right or wrong. My Pop Dukes make sure of that. And you know, the one thing he always did was set me down and gave me options and gave me the choice to make a choice. And whatever choice I made, I stood on.
I know you lost your father while you was in prison. How was that experience for you?
It was tough. I was angry for a while. I was angry at him because I didn't know the extent of his struggles. You know, I wasn't able to speak to him. I wasn't aware that he was going through what he was going through. I found out after he passed away. And, you know, I was angry because I never had a chance to say, Dad, I love you, or, yo, you know, fight, or know that he was fighting.
Do you think that the family members, you think that was their way of protecting you by not telling you, your feelings, sparing you?
Nah, they tried. You can't spare nobody's feelings, man, when you lose a loved one, man.
Right.
There's no way you can ever spare somebody's feelings. This is something we all got to go through. But it was experience, learned. And
you've lost a lot of loved ones in prison. How was that? What was the out of all those losses that you felt while you were in jail, what was the hardest loss, though? What hit you the most? Like, wow. What shocked you the most?
That's deep.
You know, what loss did have you and on that bunk in the cell and just looking up to the ceiling?
Well, I only thought about killing myself once, and that's when I lost my little brother Ral. When I lost Ral, I felt like that was me losing everything. I felt like as long as I had Ral, I had Rere, I had Reggie, I had my father.
Because he was a piece of everybody.
He was a piece of everybody.
Yes, he was.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I lost him, I was like, it was over. Like, I ain't got nothing. Then I actually was sitting in my cell contemplating on hanging myself. And I was laying in the bed, and I was just sitting there like, oh, nah, this how them other motherfuckers probably went out. Just sitting here, not, you know, afraid to ask for help.
Overthinking situations.
Yeah. And so I jumped up, hit the gate, yelled, and police got me some assistance.
And what about, because my great-grandmother, which is your grandmother, she was pronounced dead the day you came home. How was that for you?
All I wanted to do was just like remind her of my father. Like, that's all I wanted her to see me and just think of my father.
And see a piece of him.
And me. That's all I wanted.
You know, it's traumatizing. Is it traumatizing to you because the way it happened, it was shocking, it wasn't supposed to happen due to her health? She was healthy.
I look at everything like everything happens for a reason. And Allah came and he asked for his gift. Grandma was a gift on earth sent from Allah, and he came and he wanted his gift back, and then return he gave back a gift. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, you take life to give life, and I think and it's you know, it was said to me that way and to help me try to cope and understand with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, it's haunted because it's a reminder that every April 21st, that day I came home, it's the day I lost her.
And due to that experience and experiencing all those losses, would you say that it allowed you to appreciate life more? Do you appreciate life more? Do you look at your loved ones today, and when they have confrontations and they have conflicts, do you look at them today and be like, yo, it's not worth it?
Yes, I do. I feel like it's my responsibility to lead. I've always played that role of a leader, and being a leader is always being a service to your people. You know, it's something that has never been a burden. Like, you can call me any day, any time of the hour, I'm there. It's never a burden. I'm never tired. It's never too much. This is what I'm called on to do.
What I want to know is, right, from the experience, the man you were before you were incarcerated to the man you are now, what is the big difference 25 years later?
The big difference is I love myself now. Like, I didn't properly love myself before I went to prison. I had so much hate for others, but it was a lot of self-hate because I didn't have self-knowledge. But once I gained self-knowledge, I began to love myself, and that's what humbled me. It gave me more perspective on life.
But before you went away, like, how was that? Well, you was a father before you went away, right?
Yes, I was.
How was that leaving behind that legacy?
Oof. All I prayed for was that me and my son have a relationship. Because for most of my incarceration, we lost contact all the way up until the age of 12. And once he became 12, we was in contact every day until the day I came home.
Was you sending letters, like, from your jail cell? Was you sending letters? And
yes.
How was those letters, if you don't mind sharing?
Man, let me tell you something, man. My son was a diary. I was a diary to my son. He know every single thing about me. In order for him to understand himself, he had to understand me. He had to understand where he derived from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the root of who you are. The more you understand me, the better you will understand your actions, your feelings.
Speaking of which, do you feel like you fully understood your father?
Yes, man. Yes.
And what type of man was your father to you? What role did he play in your childhood and your siblings' childhood?
My father, man, he was a jack of all trades. The man, he can multitask. He can do many things. He can come into a hostile environment and humble that shit just with his presence. His presence was strong. You know what I'm saying? Real strong. And when he spoke, you listened. I don't give a fuck who you was. You listened when he spoke because he made sense. Even if he made a joke, he made sense. And I try to emulate that every day.
But what is the biggest part of your father that you take with you? What is the biggest part of your father that you take with you? What about him is in you that you see? Not just that everyone else see, not just the similarities as far as your looks, your physical appearance, but what about him that you take with you every day into your everyday life?
Being there for others. Like, you know, being there, caring, always wanting to help people, always wanting to put a smile on somebody's face, always wanting to make somebody else's day better. You know what I'm saying? Like this, just being that one person that everybody can rely on. I strive to take that from them.
And as life goes on, are you currently in contact with anybody that you was incarcerated with?
Yes, I'm incarcerated with about 5 or 6 guys that's still locked up, and there's 3 of them that came home that I'm still in contact with.
How was that experience? Did they become a family to you? Did you build a family dynamic within the walls of jail? Did you build that family, that brotherhood?
Let me tell you something, bro. I was in Sing Sing, and it was 2003. It's in the movie theater, and they had like different sections with Harlem, Brooklyn, Bloods. You know, everybody sat. I sat where I decided to sit, and I decided to sit in the Harlem section. Long story short, I was told I couldn't sit there. Me wasn't having that. Long story short, we just had a conversation about it, and the guy said to me, "Yo, bro, you're not gonna be able to survive your bed not having a team." And I told him, I'll die like a man before I live like a coward. I don't need no team. In every jail I went to, I ain't never built me a team. I built me brotherhoods.
Wow.
I don't believe in friends, eh?
That's crazy. That's ironic that you say that because I don't really believe in friends either. I got a dude, like, out of my whole bed, I really only vibe with one person. Like, I got dudes that's my mans, they're alright, but
associates.
Yeah, but it's only one out of all those 7 years I've been away. It's only one that's like my brother, and that's Chop. Shout out Chop from South Jersey. That's Chop. Like, that's anything I got into, he got into. Like, anything he got into, that was my bunkie. Like, that was my heart right there, and he still is. He came home 4 months after me, and that family that you've built out there, that you built while you were away for so long, does it still mean something to you? Because I know the family I've built within the walls, it means something to me, and that bond means more to me than some of the bonds that I've left while out here.
Yo, let me piggyback off that. Like, I don't got no bonds out here if it don't share the same blood as me. Every bond I have is dudes that I built brotherhood relationships with in prison. Everybody I deal with outside of my blood out here is an associate, bro, and I see them just as such, bro.
Why is it that, though? Former experiences, previous experiences?
We're not on the same path in life. We're not striving for the same things.
It's ironic that you say that, because I was just on the phone with this my brother for real, the dude that I was just on the phone with. You heard me. I was on the phone with him, and he was saying how everyone's not on our level mentally. Everyone's not thinking how we thinking, and everyone's not striving for what we striving for. It's something that I've been brought to his attention previously, but he's starting to get it now. Or you one of those people that have to see it, or you just always knew, like, man, I'm built from a different, I come from a different cloth.
I knew from day one I was cut from a different cloth, my G. Pop Dukes made it clear, bro. He made it clear. Like, let me tell you something. The best thing he ever did for me, is the confidence, man. Like, you know, he used to teach me how to box, train me in boxing, and he used to take me around the projects and have me fight everybody, betting with the gloves and knuckling up. Anybody, what was that? Come here. And these was guys that was older than me, and I used to be scared. But I never lost, though. Never, ever lost in front of my father.
I feel like, see, I never had that guidance in life that you had, because my dad got killed when I was a baby. So a lot of us, you know, we don't really know what that sense of protection is. So what is your advice for those who don't have a father? What would be your advice to a young man that's growing up without a father?
Try to be the best example of yourself, man. Like, try to be your best self. Learn as much as you can about the best of your father, and try to live out the best of him.
So basically, take a trait from your dad, live that best trait, and then go for. Well, I don't know, because the stories I'm getting, people say I remind them of him, and then in a way I do my own thing, because what I hear of him, the dude he ain't have it all the way upstairs.
He really did have it all upstairs. He just used to lose it. You know, he had it up there. He just used to lose it. You heard? No, but you got a lot of traits though, like go-getter.
Yeah, I am a go-getter.
I don't care what nobody tell you about. He was a go-getter. One of the youngest motherfuckers in the projects whipping. You hear me? One of the youngest, bro. He was a go-getter. Trust me on that. Stay fly was getting it, bro. Go-getter.
And the trait that you took from your father, right? Did your father ever tell you any stories about his father, Freddie Jackson?
Man, to be honest with you, I can't remember anything past the age you got there. Nah, cause keep it real with you. I don't know if that's that's from the product of smoking so much PCP. You know what I'm saying? I smoke a lot of PCP, and I think I lost a lot of my memories. So
I'm asking you because I know that he told us about his father. Fred J this and Fred J that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man, so I'm asking you, did you ever experience those Fred? Because you know you named your brother after his father and his brother. And then you named after him. I wanted to know how does that feel though, being named after your father?
I'm a G, man. Eddie G, man. Eddie G Jr. You know? You know his name was Eddie J. That was a G of Eddie G Jr.
Yeah, because I feel like it's such an honor to be named after your father. Yeah. Right? It's because you pick up the lessons, and you pick up that and you share it. And it's up to you now though. Be that drive for your siblings, and be that strength for your siblings. And would you say that your relationship with your siblings, do you feel like you're more obligated to keep that bond with them due to the loss of your dad?
Let me say this, right? Let me back up a little bit. When I was younger, I used to tell people my real name was Tyrell, because I used to feel like Eddie was like a elder name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is an old name.
But nowadays, I'm walking that, I'm owning that. Yeah. Ask me my name. My name Eddie G. Yo, Bubby, no, don't even call me Bubby no more. My name Eddie G. I'm owning it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking in my maturity. You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, yeah, cuz, it does. I hear a lot of stories about my father. And every story I hear is how he kept the family together.
Right.
And you think that ain't a burden that I put on my shoulder and say, Bob, carry it?
Right.
I'm picking it up.
Right. And with that, right, after losing a parent and only having one left, how does that feel? Do you cherish your mother more now because that's your only? Because somebody asked me a question one day when I was out eating. They asked me, "Did you ever look at your mother?" And I'm asking you this question that someone asked me. Do you ever look at your mother and look at her and wish that she could live forever?
No. It's not reality, bro. That's one thing we all gonna face. I just hope that she live her best life.
Yeah.
And that we can enjoy her while she here.
Right. It's hard because we gotta face reality knowing that it's either, even at this table, man, you sitting across from each other. One day you gonna have to go, or I'm gonna have to go. Somebody gonna have to go first. Might be you, might be me. Nobody know who's it's gonna be. That's the heartbreaking part of life, is knowing that it has to end. How do you deal with those thoughts though? Knowing like one day, do you ever? Because I've been in jail. We know we think deep.
I want to go first. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I ain't trying. I ain't nigga. Look, I done been through too much, bro. I'm keeping it 100, nigga. I want to go first.
Yeah,
bro.
because
I've been through too much, God.
Everyone has that burden. Everyone wears that. Everyone says, that we deal with that, knowing that someday it have to be all over. One day in a jail cell, a dude comes up to me and like, yo, you ever think about how it's gonna be? Do you ever get those moments in jail where everybody like, they think about how God gonna come and how heaven gonna look? You ain't never had one of those conversations?
I ain't gonna front, homie. I when it come to death, I don't think about how I'm gonna die. I just know that one day I'm gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are you afraid of death?
That's the one, that's what made me do a lot of dumb shit. Because I wasn't afraid of death.
Do you think it's due to your jail experience? I feel like it's my jail experience why I'm not scared to die.
Nah, I wasn't afraid of death before I went to jail.
Before I went to jail, I felt like death was fake. I felt like, not saying it was real because it was going on around you. It's different losing a grandmother, losing someone, an elderly person like that. But when you lose a childhood friend,
I was so ignorant when it came to death. I ain't think a motherfucker could kill me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You understand me?
So I think it's different from being fear. It's different from not. It's different. It's different.
I ain't think a motherfucker could kill me, bro.
It's different than not fearing death. I don't think I wasn't fear. I just was ignorant. Ignorance is bliss. I just felt like it was so unreal. But now that I know it can actually happen, I really don't care if it happen.
Yeah, likewise. Like my thing is, if death come my way, man, it's like, okay, Bob, you tried to live your best life. You survived prison. You know what I'm saying? And this is another chapter of your life. And this is what Allah called for. Then who are you to question that?
Why you think people in our culture, why you think African American people, they walk away from those conversations? They do their best to avoid those conversations when it's time to talk about death. Why do we fear talking about death? Why is death always off limits for a topic?
For some people, it may remind them of some losses that they took.
Right.
Some people afraid that they're gonna have to face that experience one day. You know what I'm saying? Or some people might be actually dealing with somebody who actually suffering or struggling, to hold on to life. It could be many reasons, but my main reason I think people are afraid to talk about that conversation is that they don't want to face that reality that one day they here, next day it could be gone.
And what would you say, right? At this point in life, right? When it's all over, Eddie, you, the man, what would you want to be remembered as? When it's all over, what are the words you want people to remember? What are the words you want to be remembered by? When your name get mentioned when you're no longer here and your presence is no longer here.
Real right, bro. Real right. Real right. On all levels. Real right. Real right. I don't give a fuck on any level. Real right. Yo, but that was a real right nigga. That was a real right dude. You understand what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Because when you say real right, that means you real right on all levels, bro. Real right. Not everybody can say that, cuz.
It's very ironic. I wouldn't say that I want to be remembered as a real right, but I just want to be remembered as a person with compassion, right? Because I feel like due to the lifestyle we were born into, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, you chose this, you chose that. We were born into it, being from the projects. We were born in an at-risk community, so they label us at risk right off the bat. So that's just what I want to be remembered as, someone with compassion, right? You know, because a lot of people look at us, they judge when they don't even know the half of it, right?
Don't know nothing.
So what do you say to those who don't know you, that judge you, that have bad things to say about you? If you could address them, what would you say?
Look, let me say, there's 3 ways people gonna look at you.
Say it, break it down.
The way you want them to see you, the way they see you, and the way you truly are, right? Now, I can come across as one way. I could probably want you to see me as the most humblest, coolest motherfucker in this room. But you might look at me and be like, man, he's a coward. He may be like, nah, I know, boy, a whole beast.
Right.
Right? It's all on your perceptions on how you want to perceive me. I can be the realest dude to you and everybody else. But because you want to see me as something else, you're going to see me as something else.
You're going to always look for a reason to take that credit away from me.
Regardless. So what I strive to do is care 2 fucks about changing anybody's perception of me. I try to stand on my own truth and stay real to myself, bro. That's the illest thing you can ever do. Right. Is stand on your own truth and stay true to yourself, bro. If you don't allow no one to wave you off your truth, bro, you ain't gonna get no harm done to you. Can't no harm come your way. And I'm telling you this, I lived through this, bro. I survived that shit.
Because you feel like that could be a burden though, carrying that right there. That could be a burden, an unnecessary burden, might I add.
Exactly.
To carry what do people think about me? That's just unnecessary to carry.
Everybody gonna have an opinion, bro. Me personally, I don't care 2 fucks about it.
Have you ever struggled with that in life?
Man, people always had the wrong. People right now to this day got the wrong perception of me, bro. I'm okay with that though. I embrace that. You know how people be like, yo, who that? And some people like, no, never who that. I'm like, yo, forever who that. Because wherever I go, I expect to stand out. Forever who that. Because I always expect to stand out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my presence is that strong. It's going to be felt. Period. So I'm forever who that. So, you know, that's something that I jack and I'm swagging with that.
Forever who that.
Forever who that.
Forever unpredictable. Forever not knowing me. Forever questioning who I may be.
Forever.
I'm still that dude that you have to figure out.
Forever.
And that's forever. And you know, what was ironic about what you're saying is I feel like that's the same thing with me as a forever who that, because I've been in so many different lanes. When people feel like they know me, I X out that lane and I'm in a whole different lane now.
Fact.
So by the time you got me down packed with that, it's like I'm on to the next thing. Like,
yeah, let me tell you this, bro. Everybody you meet, everybody you come encounter with is gonna be an unsolved puzzle to you. The moment you think you got somebody figured out, they're gonna surprise you, bro. Don't you ever think you got a motherfucker figured out. Don't you ever. Because in different situations and circumstances, it's gonna bring about different results, different actions, right? You may be one way in this setting amongst this group of people, but you'll be a totally different person in that same setting amongst a different group of people. You see what I'm saying? So don't never think you got somebody figured out. We are all unsolved puzzles, my dude.
It's deep that you say that, because everybody get this perception that they have people figured out, and I totally agree with you, because I've been in situations with people where they've shocked me already. They shock me because you put your guard down for people for whatever reason. You know, you start trusting them, and you start having that love for them. You start viewing them as family, to find out that they've never cared about you. You know, like you.
And let me say this too, cuz, right? This why I say there's no such thing as friendships. You got associates, because when we meet one another, right, we trying to fill each other out, and in a matter of a week or two, most people assume I got them figured out. Right? I could call left, he gonna go right. If I call right, he gonna go straight. Right? And so therefore we get comfortable with thinking that we got this individual figured out. And the time that person shows us something different in his character, we automatically assume, oh, he's a snake, he's no good. No, be patient. He's just showing you another part of himself.
Because it's not just one person.
It's not exactly, and this is why friendship has to be built through trial and tribulation, and that development through brotherhood. Because if you don't have that patience to endure that, bro, man, fuck that nigga. Man, we're gonna be quick to say that because we don't have enough patience to be patient with the brother because we don't have enough patience to be patient with ourselves.
Right.
So if we can practice a little more patience, I'm guarantee you we'll have a lot more.
I ain't gonna hold you. Somebody need to hear that. Not to cut you off. Somebody need to hear that. Somebody need to hear that. That right there, what you just said, not to cut you off. That right there, what you just said, somebody need to hear that. Because we not patient anymore. We try to rush relationships. Even with male and females, they rush into it. And it's because, I'd rather have you than not have nobody at all. I need you here because nobody's not gonna be here if you here. Some people just fear silence. Some people just fear being alone. But I love silence. You know, I love silence. I love silence because silence provides structure. And the reason silence provides structure because it provides knowledge. I get to know myself on a whole nother level and it's like, how could you have me figured out when I don't even have myself figured out?
But you know what they say, right? The ones who love silence, they say, is the ones who are at peace that surpasses understanding. When you hit peace that surpasses understanding, most things in life ain't gonna affect you the same way it affect everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And people ain't gonna understand that. Yo, bro, like, why you so humble? Like, why you, bro, it's all good. This too shall pass, bro. Nothing lasts forever. This too shall pass. Period.
And it's very ironic that you say that. Like, it's just everything that you saying is so very ironic. Somebody just says silence provides structure. Silence provides knowledge. It does, like you saying. It's like silence. Without silence, you will never find that peace. That you will always forever with noise around you. You will forever in your life
be dictated by the noise.
Right.
Because if you one of those people who, right, you always looking to hear noise, then you guided by that noise. Right, but if you can sit in silence and and sit in your own thoughts, right, your own pity, whatever it may be, and own that shit, bro, you
can overcome it on a whole different level.
You mastering self,
and that's why I think prison helped me with silence, right? Because you have no choice but to be blocked away from all the noise. So even when certain things happen in life, when certain people pass away, you feel for them and you're hurt. But you know how to cope with people because you get so used to not having people around for so long. You get so used to living without people. So it's not saying that you're nonchalant to the pain that's going on in everyone else's life and the pain that everyone else feels.
That shit hardens you, cut. It hardens you.
Right.
It hardens you. For me, when I was losing my loved ones, you know, being in the way, locked up in a whole nother state, I'm around motherfuckers who don't even know me, don't even know my family. So dudes can't even relate to me on no level. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker can't even come to me like, damn, bro, I heard what happened to bro. Or yo, that's fuck. You know what I'm saying? You can't even find a motherfucker to grieve with you. So I ain't had time for that. I ain't had no time for grievance, bro. Had to put my A-face on and keep bidding. You understand me? I ain't had no time for grieving, no time for none of that.
I know exactly what you're saying because it was only one thing, right? Man, I've lost my Uncle Tony while I was away. It was like, Uncle Tony died, but he was so quiet when he was alive, so it wasn't like I was really missing anyone. And then my great grandmother from New York, she passed away, but she had Alzheimer's forever, so I really wasn't feeling that. The only one that I felt while I was in jail was Miss Jackson, our grandmother. That's the only one I felt while I was in jail. I felt like something left my body and I was reaching for it and it was out of reach. You ever felt that? If you understand the feeling that I'm describing to you, you walk around the yard and it hits you. You could just be working out regular and thinking you over it, and it's like, dang, I'm reaching for something and I might not ever find it.
Facts. Yo, bro, it took me almost 4 years to accept my pop death. I'm lying, probably a little longer than that. I used to call home, and every time I used to call home, I used to be like, yo, where my father at? Yo, put my father on the phone. Because he was the first one to put a phone on for me. First one to send me packages. First one writing me letters, sending me pictures, all that. First to do all that. So when I used to call, I used to always ask for him. And when he passed away, I never accepted his death because I was angry at everybody. So every time I used to call home, I was like, yo, I used to catch myself. Like, yo, where my fuck? And one time, I got so goddamn mad at myself about to say this shit that I went back to my building. I'm like, yo, why the fuck every time I get on the phone, I keep about to say where my father at? And I'm like, damn, Bub, you ain't accept his death. And I sat right there in the bed. I'm like, yo, why you ain't accept his death? I had to understand why I'm still holding on, like why I'm angry. You know, I didn't know I was angry at the time. I'm trying to figure out why I'm still holding on. Then that's when I figured it out. Nigga, you angry. You never got a chance to tell him you love him. You never got to, you know what I'm saying?
Wow, because it's certain deaths that I still haven't accept, right? Like with grandma, in my mind, like I hate going to my other grandma's house because they always talking about it. Like, oh, Miss Jackson. But in my mind, grandma's still down south. You know, like, you know, that's how I deal with it. I just put that in my head that grandma is still down south. And that's how I cope with it. But, you know, it does come a day when I would have to face it, you know, sad to say. And you saying that it took you a while to accept the loss of your father, right? I want to say this to you, right? Have you ever been, not that you blame people for the loss of a loved one, but have you ever been so angry that someone died, you blame them too for leaving you?
I blame my father. I blamed him because I felt like I didn't know his struggle. I didn't know that he was a fighter. I didn't know how strong he was. I felt like he just gave up because I wasn't a part of his struggle while he was going through that. You know what I'm saying? So my mind, how I received it was like, yo, he just passed on. He just moved on. So I'm like, damn, motherfucker, you ain't fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't put up no struggle. Then as I'm hearing stories, I'm like, oh, damn, this motherfucker was a warrior. You know what I'm saying? And that's giving me more strength and it's helping me, you know, accept it a lot better now because at first I was really angry.
Stage 4, he was fighting like hell.
Man, yo, I'm hearing the stories, bro.
He was fighting like hell. I remember that from being a little boy. That was traumatizing as well, seeing that whole fight, you know, and that's a whole nother story. And that's the reason I do the work that I do, right? Because I look and people fail to realize they look at their loved ones. It's like, at what point in life do you get to live for them? At what point in life do you live to satisfy them? Even though you're living for self-satisfaction, it's not about satisfying somebody else. But when do you say, I'm selfless, I want to make my family proud, I want to make them happy, versus my homeboys? You know, got a lot of people in the streets that don't care about making their loved ones happy.
I think doing the simple things, like just picking up the phone and just texting. Hey, have a good day today. Yo, what up, cuz? How you doing, sis? Yo, bro, just thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? And you never know what type of strength that may give to that person. You know what I'm saying? Or it may brighten up that person.
Nah, it gives me a lot of strength when people do it to me because it shows that someone cares. And even though you're in silence and you live in that silence, it just show like, look, if you need to get out of, because sometimes you need to come out of silence mode to come into the real world, right? Let's not get it mixed up. It just show like, look, I'm here if you need me, and I'm gonna call away. So just contact me. I'm here. It's just a signal. It's a sign to show people that you're here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what type of vibe you give off. And I appreciate you for coming on the show. And it's like, not only that, right? Because I have to talk about this as well. How was that having your wife do your bid with you? I have to ask that question because I just felt in need of you across from me, and I just couldn't ask that. I couldn't interview you without saluting her for doing what she's done because I know that right there wasn't easy.
If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now, bro. Facts. I would have had time on top of time. I was living like a savage, bro, over there. You understand me? I was living like a real savage. When I tell you that, getting drugs from niggas, jerking them, robbing niggas, all types of shit. You understand me? Knocking niggas out, beating niggas up, going rob, taking their wholesale, everything. You understand me? I was doing whatever I had to do to survive. And when she came around, you know, took a lot of that pressure off me. And it also made me really grow up. I used to be a play fiend. Like, she made me mature a lot. And if I didn't mature, I probably had a lot more of knife fights in prison. I had 5. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for my maturity, I'd have had a lot more, bro. Cause I ain't give a
That's
fuck.
discipline. 5 in all those years.
Bro, I had 5 night fights, bro.
Ooh, that's discipline because
No, not only that. I've been to the box twice.
all them years. That's discipline.
That's discipline.
That's good. That's good because I was doing way worse than that.
Yo, that's what I'm saying, my dude. Like, I always said this to myself. I compared it to the streets. If I can't be in prison in an isolated situation and avoid going to the box,
Right. That's what CEO said.
How come I'ma be in a free world and avoid that?
They also said that to
How?
me. How are you in jail? In jail? How you gonna avoid jail when you're free and you can't even avoid jail while you're in jail?
I always thought that was the most silliest. Yo, I'm in the box. I'm not about to be in the box, bro. I'm not about to be in the box, bro. I got time to do. I gotta try to, man. Fuck, man.
Man, at least you woke up because some guys don't wake up. Even the ones that's like, around your age, most of them don't wake up.
Let me tell you this, right? This is what I used to always say. Yo, bro, don't become prison. Don't become of prison, right? Because when you become of prison, you do exactly what prison expect you to do. Because you dictated by the norms of prison. What is to be expected? Oh, yo, bro, he told you to eat his... So you supposed to come out just selling... For what? To give you something to talk about?
A show.
Now I'm sitting in the jail. Now look, now I got a new charge, right? Right? Look, you may not never see you again. May not never, but you gonna talk about my story for the rest of your bid, though. Bro, who am I? Like, you think I'm about to really sit here and entertain you?
It's like, no, everything you saying, because when I was away, it was kind of the same thing with me. To this day, people bring up, oh, remember you boxed this person, and I outgrown that. I'm 150 pounds heavier. You get what I'm saying? I can't even move like that no more. I don't even have the energy to do that. And I'm like, yo, shut up before you hear you, and I have to do it to him again.
No, let me tell you this,
and I don't
though,
even
bro.
move like that no more. I don't even know if I can fight because I never fought with weight on me. You know what I'm saying? I never fought with weight on me.
Yo, bro, when I first got locked up over, that was a savage. I was my nigga. What? Wasn't no fighting. I did what I wanted. Point blank. Period. And if I did have a fight, I destroyed them.
I just was telling somebody how I bit somebody's face and I was shaking it like I was a pit bull.
Listen, it's all fair, nigga. It's all fair, love and war, but whatever. Nah, I ain't never bite nobody. I ain't never use a weapon, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying I would love, and I would like this to be on air too. I would love for you to come by sometime and co-host with me and things of that nature. Cause this was a vibe today. Like, for the ones around your age that hasn't grown up, what would be your advice to them?
Who are you living for? Ask yourself that question. Who you living for, and what are you living for? Like, what's your purpose? Do you have one? If you don't know what your purpose is right now and at this stage in your life, bro, then why you here?
Why you here? You heard it. Why you here? If you don't know what you living for, who you living for, why you here?
Like, why you here? Like, find something to strive for.
You're living a life that's not filled with no purpose at all.
Even if you want to live to be strong for other people, that's a purpose. Right? Whatever. Find something to live for.
Right. Find something to live
Even if you say, I'm just having my presence here for other people, then strive for that. Strive to always make sure your presence means something when you come around.
And from this sit down, right? From this sit down, this is my last question to you. How is the transformation from the jail cell to coming out here now?
Traumatizing.
Is it still difficult?
Yes. Let me tell you something, bro. You ain't gonna never be able to adapt to life again, bro. I went to jail, I had my whole family. All my brothers and my father, grandmother, everybody. Came home to none of that.
Wow, I know how to, oh man.
It ain't gonna never, ever, ever be the same. Ever.
Ever. People fail to realize it's like a movie, right? One day I cried in the cell and I said, life is like a movie. Who we used to be Ain't nobody tell us who we used to be. You know, Ron, he was close to me. Life is like a movie. Right? Life like a movie because you here today, you die today, just like a movie.
And your life go through different chapters.
Right, no matter how many scenes it is, no matter how many chapters it is.
Different chapters.
It's just all so soon. It happened so fast. My face was just naked. Now I got the fucking mustache going in my mouth. Man. You know, it's always something, and now that I understand life is like a movie, and I look at dudes like you know, that did way more time than I've did 3 times as much as the time I've did. I look at that, right? And I'm blessed because it could have been me, and I'm blessed because I'm out here. And people don't understand. That's why I do everything I do. I know my boys, they tired of me. It's always a new idea. You know, it's always we doing this now. We on this. Never mind that. Yeah. You know, all these different business adventures and stuff. Because they don't understand when you've been through a situation like that, when that prosecutor looks at you from the other table and she try to snatch your soul. You know what I'm talking about? Try to snatch your soul. I look at them. I keep looking. Yeah, you see me. I'm looking at you, Pickaboo, and you looking at me. And they look at you. And they try to take your life away from you while you're a boy. They try to make it seem. They try to make it till you'll never see manhood ever. And when you never been in that situation, that's why you don't understand why I grind, how I grind. That's why you don't understand why I'm so hungry, and that's why you don't understand why certain things that phase you, it don't phase me, because certain things would be pointless to me.
Facts.
So what do you tell a guys like that don't understand?
For guys that don't understand, I think about myself, because at one point I didn't understand, right? And the one thing that helped me understood was finding something that gave me meaning. And that was Islam.
Wow, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I turned to Islam, it gave me so much meaning, and it humbled me, and that's what made me start loving myself and loving everybody
you should come
else.
out to the meetings. This is guy that he's from the Nation of Islam. Boy, that boy be talking. I tell you something. You hear me? He be, you know what I'm talking about. Boy, he be talking. He be talking. And I'm not Muslim, but he be talking. And you know, it really doesn't matter, because I really don't look at him for a religious standpoint. I look at the message. I don't really look too far. I don't look too much into the messenger. I never got into that.
Say that.
Right? I never look at the messenger. I feel like most people shouldn't look at the messenger. I feel like you should receive the message, because when you look at the messenger more than you look at the message, you're only cheating yourself. You think you're doing something by judging the messenger, but you really taking from yourself, because you can really learn something from the message if you stop looking at the messenger. And what kept me sane in that prison cell was my writing. That's what kept me sane. My books, writing books and coming up with different ideas, and poetry kept me sane. You know.
What kept me sane was really, really being there for everybody. I developed about like 7, 8 godchildren while I was in prison.
Yo, if you ain't my son, you hear me?
Facts.
You hear me? When I got locked up, I never asked nobody. I came home, I'm everybody son, godfather, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because people name babies after you. Like my mother named one of the babies Daquana. People name babies after you. People make you the god. That just showed that you was missed. Like when people be having stories like, man, everybody forgot about mom and jail.
Not so much
I can't relate to that.
It's
People haven't forgotten about me.
It's the impact that you left, the impression that you left on people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That they gonna make sure live on.
I used to joke and say, yo, I feel like I'm dead and I'm somewhere in heaven, and a spot by myself where I could just look down and see what everybody, because I was able to get the flowers while I still was here. Like, even though I was in prison, I was able to get the flowers while I still was here. Like, people sending me, like, drawings and paintings and different things of that nature. Like, they showing their appreciation left and right. And it was just a blessing. It was like everybody, like all my boys, even I'm home and they still doing it, you know? It's just a blessing, and it's a blessing to have you here. I'm your host, Day One. This is Soul Food Sunday, man. This is my cousin Bubby. Make sure y'all stay tuned. He'll be back to co-host even more, man. Y'all know what it is.
Talk to me nice.
Talk to him nice. Little Eddie Jig Jr.
Little
And this
Eddie
is the
Jig
show,
Jr.
man. Soul Food Sunday, the spot where you get nourished and you get wisdom and you get knowledge.
Say
this is the
that.
spot to get inspiration and motivation. I'm your boy, Day One, man. Stay tuned. One love.
Childhood love, childhood love. You will always be, will always be. I heard that you been doing you on the low. When I ask questions, you say, boy, yo, hell no. Remember we was young, now we grown.